Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. We are back together with you with the new season's first drivers press conference. Let's watch it together. Just a little announcement. We will have and also one more press conference with the team principals. Just don't forget to like the video, comment it and subscribe to the channel.
You know, we're all going to be focused on the race, and ultimately for us, that's all we want to do, and for the fans, that's all they want to see. So I don't think the things that have been going on will be overshadowing anything.
Thanks, George. Next one, please.
A question to George. George, you know very well the whole Mercedes compared to Kimi, obviously. What negative characteristic do you hope have been fixed thinking about this new project?
I think it was clear last year we struggled a lot in the hot races, and we had a lot of oversteer in the car when the track was very hot, and this is something we've tried to dial out. Of course, for everybody, it's trickier when it gets hot, but it was clear with our performance that we really went backwards. And also it was on a knife's edge. You saw us all have a few crashes last year. You just lose, you go outside of the window and you was in the wall. So we've put a lot of focus on making the car more drivable, more intuitive to drive. And I think from what we've seen so far, it seems to be doing that.
Thanks very much, George. Any more questions? This one over here.
Ben Hunt, Autosport. Just a question for all four, actually, just to get your take on F1 75. We thought it was a success. Would you like to do it again, or is once enough?
Who would like to take that one first?
Lance.
Lance, do you want to have a go?
I thought it was a cool activity from F1 for sure. It was great for the fans, good exposure for our sport, for our teams, sponsors. So, yeah, I thought it was a nice way to kick off the season.
Esteban?
I think the energy was insane, honestly, when we're on the middle of the stage there and unveiling the car and, the people shouting. It's something that, will forever stick in my mind, It's quite crazy. I watch, the UFC, and, the UFC when they're in the middle of the stadium, it's quite similar, but we don't really get to experience that apart from Mexico Drivers Parade, but we are not actually really in the middle. It's outside and it's very different, but yeah, that was quite special. So yeah, it was quite incredible.
Pierre, how about you?
Yeah, I think it was a great event. At first, so I'm sure the way it was perceived from the fans and the exposure was enormous for our sports teams and sponsors, as Len said. I'm sure there are a couple of tweaks there and there we can do to improve the show and improve the whole organization, and just get more out of it in the future if they want to do it again. But it was definitely something special, which we don't, in terms of feeling going on stage with such a crowded stadium, is not something you get to experience as an F1 driver. So, it was definitely a quite unique feeling.
Okay, so from George, Jack Whitehall gave you a bit of grief, didn't he?
No, I thought it was great. To be honest, I think Jack Whitehall was really great and added a lot to the evening. You too, Lawrence, you were great as
Thanks,
well. But no, but I think it was really good for the sport. Everything F1 is doing at the moment, it feels like it adds a lot to the sport as a whole. So I really enjoyed it. They did a great job, and happy to see it again next year or whenever they plan to do it again.
Yeah, maybe for some of the Formula One fans or the maybe for the drivers it was interesting show, but for me it was the most boring Formula One show ever that I have watched. But as they said, it was for the sponsors, for their sponsors and those fans who likes events like this. I'm sorry for the interruption, but I must do it.
Great
In
stuff.
Paris.
Thanks, George. Thanks, Pierre. Any more questions? This one over there.
Ian Parks, Racing News 365. To all four drivers, Carlos Sainz was named as a GPDA director. Can you just ask what you feel about that, what he brings to the party for the association, how he can help the association move forward?
George, you want to start with that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have Carlos part of a GPDA. I think such a obviously a great driver, really smart, wise, individual, and has been around for a long time. And of course, in the past, there was always more than one driver director, but since Sebastian, it's just been myself for the last couple of years. So I'm happy that the questions can be shared out a little bit more evenly between me and another driver. But I think for all of us, as 20, we're probably more united than ever, especially with everything that's going on off track. And to have Carlos as one of the senior voices as well, I think is a great addition.
Esteban, anything to add?
Yeah, not much more to add really. Carlos been a very experienced driver for many years, very successful driver as well. I think we're all happy, obviously, that he stepped up, and that's why he's up there.
Lance, anything to add?
No.
Pierre? Any more questions? Yeah, we've just got one over there.
To all four. For teams, quite a lot of focus is already on 2026, of course. And I was just wondering if any of you have driven something based on 2026 regulations in the simulator lately, and if so, how did it feel in terms of drivability, and are some of the concerns that were there in the beginning with downshifting on the straights and things like that, are they gone after the FIA changes? Thank you.
Lance, why don't you start that one?
I haven't driven anything on the simulator yet.
Esteban?
No, I haven't driven anything yet. I think that will come probably quite soon. There's I think still a lot of things that are in the loop, to be finalized. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be interesting to see, who continues development, who stops it, earlier to focus on 26. But so far, focused on this year on our side, and the most important, is to start the season well, and we'll see for 26 later.
George, Pierre, done any 2026 work on the sim?
Yeah, already started just with a few sort of concept stuff, and I think the problems that were being spoken about a year ago or so, they won't be as drastic. A number of drivers have driven the 2026 tyres, which are going to be narrower tyres to try and help reduce the drag. That was a bit of a challenge compared to the wide tyres we have today. It was quite a step worse for the tyres, naturally, because they're just much more narrow. So hopefully they will be improved over the coming months. But I think it's going to be an exciting year next year as well.
Pierre, anything to add?
Yeah, no simulation, but similar to George, where we've tried a couple of we've done some work with Pirelli for the 2026 tires, which is all going into exploring and trying to get the best product possible, but not to the extent of trying different engines or cars which will be similar to next year. So mainly tire work. Yeah.
Great. So just before we wrap up, can I get some predictions from you guys for the season ahead? Let's start with Esteban.
Hopefully it's very close all the way through the field. Hopefully the field is spread within 3/10 like we've seen in Abu Dhabi last year, and it's up to the best team of the moment and the best driver of the moment, who will be on top. That's my only wish. It's not a prediction, but it's a wish.
Pierre?
Well, personally, I think it would be cool for the sport to have a third team joining the fight for the championship, which I think is possible. And more biased, but hopefully the midfield can challenge the top teams more consistently, and hopefully create a couple of surprises, as we've seen on some occasion last year. So, yeah.
Great stuff. George, just quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the wish is that we're all having a good fight. I think McLaren are going to be pretty strong. Lando said they found a lot over the winter, and he's looking pretty confident. So, but we all wish to have a close fight. There's nothing more you can ask for.
And Lance, just finally, anything from you?
I think everyone said everything. Hopefully it's close, fun, exciting.
Lovely stuff. Well, guys, thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, as always, like Lance Stroll, he never talks too much. I'm sorry. If I need to tell my opinion, it will be very stupid for the show, for the race to downshift the Formula One cars on the straights. I think it will be very stupid thing, but let's hope they will solve this problem, and we will see much better races and much interesting races in 2026. But firstly, we need to focus on the 2025 this season. Let's hope, as they said, like they want the competition, maybe also third team to join in a front row to have good fights, and also in midfield teams. But we will see. We had a lot of datas today. The cars are looking faster than last year, but the end of the third day, I think we will have much consistent data. And also, just one more time to remind you, after this video, and also we will have the team principals press conference as we held today, and also tomorrow, let's say on last day, also we will have all the press conferences and the interviews that we had on the test areas. Just don't forget to like the video, comment it, and subscribe to the channel.